Hi y'all, this is Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wings, and we are here with our third episode of Using Up Book Pages. This is our little series that we decided to do, and I thought, okay, I love book pages. I love making stuff with book pages, and so I thought, well, I'll just do a little series on making different things with book pages. So this is what we're going to make today. And I have everything already kind of pre-cut because I know most of you do not want to sit and watch me cut any more than we have to. So this is a little book page, and I have put tape on the back of it. Those of you that watch me very often know that this is a sign, I guess, or a way for me to know that this was intended to be put down on a page with glue here and here. So I'm not really making a pocket, kind of making a tuck spot here. But these are pockets on the front. This little pocket, or this little tag, will go down here in the back. I've left them blank just because I don't really know what I want to put on them yet, as far as flowers or mushrooms or critters or butterflies or dragonflies or fairies or who knows what. So I will make that decision when I decide which journal it's going to go in. But this gives us 4 little pockets. There's one there, one here, and then the one on the back. Now you do not have to put the one on the back if you don't want to. If you want to make it a 3-sided thing and make it an actual pocket, you can certainly do that. Or if you wanted to just glue this whole thing down on the page and have a pocket with 3 tags in it, that would be fine as well. Whatever you decide. And I kind of always cockeye mine just because I can never get them in there straight, and so this way it looks like they weren't supposed to be straight. So, but I wanted the 4th one, and I wanted it to be a little tuck that could come in anywhere along the side here. So there we go. That's what we're going to make today. And we're going to make it using one book page. There we go. One book page. I know you can't tell because it's folded up, but that is one book page. Okay? And so there it is. So let's get started. I'll put you right there. And if I can remember how to fold this, we shall fold. So I'm going to make this one a little bit wider. I'm going to use the entire book page just because. So I'm going to take this book page, and it measures almost 6. It's really about 5 7/8 by 9 1/4. And so that's a pretty good size. There we go. And then we're going to take this and we're going to fold it in half because I need, you'll see, now you can have your pocket open up this direction or this direction, depending on what you do and how you fold it. That is up to you as well. If you want it on a page that's going to open up here, you might want it on this side. If you're going to put it on a page that opens up this way, you may want to put it on this side. So that's entirely up to you. But we're going to fold it in half. We're going to come up here to the top, and we're not going to, I think that I am going to ink this just for video purposes so you can see where this center is here. It doesn't have to be done. This is just so we can see it. I know on camera it's sometimes kind of hard to see where those folds are, and we need to know where it is. So we're going to take this one and fold it down, not on the fold, but right up close to the fold. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And this will make a sort of a point up here, but we're not really terribly worried about the point. Turn it upside down, and we're going to do the same thing. Turn it and make our little fold in. And we're going to make this fold in. So when we get done, it's Okay. It kind of looks like a little boat, or I guess a little hat, or whatever you want it to be. But there you go. Now, just to keep it from becoming an issue, I am going to glue these little flaps down just a little bit, just because I don't want every time I just refilled my glue, but I didn't wash this little nibbing thing here. I need to do that. So my glue will come out better. But there we go. And I'm just going to glue it down just because I don't want it to keep coming up and out when we put our tags in there in a little bit. So this is just really to kind of protect it a little bit, except, you know, you have to have glue that cooperates with you, or a handy dandy little pin that you can keep poking in there. And I promise when I get through with this video, I am going to go wash this nubbin out, because it does not seem to me that it is wanting to cooperate with us. But there we go. I think there's a little piece of dried glue in there, and I am tired of messing with you, so we're going to put you over there until I can get you cleaned up. And we will just use our Fabri-Tac. Works just as well. And we'll just glue that in, and we'll glue this one down. Okay, so now we're going to take this, whoops, didn't quite have it glued or dried down enough yet to do that. So we're going to fold it over like this. Now, make sure your words are right side up or upside down. It doesn't matter. One side, either this side or this side, are going to be upside down just because of the way the page is. That's just the way it is. So decide which one you want to be right side up and which one you want to be right side down or wrong side up, whichever. So we're going to take this and we are going to pull this part up, this fold up to here. Oh, wherever you want to put it. If you want it up this way, you'd have some narrow pockets. If you put it down here, you have a little bit more room, and I like having just a little bit more room. So I'm going to put it down about right here. That's going to make our pocket, the whole pocket, is going to be about 5.5 inches. And it's going to be right at 3 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. Now, I am going to go ahead and ink. And I am doing this simply because I like to ink. I like my pages to be inked. I like them to have that definite division on there. You can do that, or you don't have to do that. It really doesn't matter. And really, it doesn't matter on this one because we're going to put paper on it anyway. So there we go. Now, we can go ahead and glue this side down right here and this little side down, but it needs to be a very small bead of glue because we want to have as much glue. The more glue you put in here, the smaller your tag is going to have to be that's going to fit down in here. So we want it to be a really tiny little daubing of glue right down that side. And we're going to put some glue on this side too in a minute, but we're not going to do that until we cover it. Trust me, it is easier to cover this before we glue it. Trust me, I know this. All right, so then we've got this done. We can go ahead and glue in here if we want to. In this little side here, go ahead and glue that down. That's just the inside of our pocket, because each one of these little flaps is going to give us 2 pockets. So we'll have a pocket back here that we're going to have as our tuck. We will have a pocket here, and another pocket in between here. So you're going to have 4 pockets. You don't have to have 4 pockets. You can have whatever you want. If you just want to make it a 2 pocket, you can certainly do that, and just glue this together right here and have a pocket there and a pocket there, and that would be perfect. It's up to you. Now, I have this little piece of it's not dragonfly, excuse me, it's dandelion paper, and I am going to try to position this so that it will cover this little section right here, and it's not going to cover it completely. Let's see if I come down. I can come down that far and have enough, and I think that will work. And then when we fold it up, we'll still be able to see the dandelion. So I think that's going to work. So I'm going to put glue on this whole part right here, down to the fold right here, this fold right here. So, and I'm going to have it go right straight up to the edge. And we're just going to glue all the way around, put some glue in the center to hold it down. And like I said, I like using this Fabri-Tac glue because it does give you just a slight moment to move it to get it right where you want it, so that your flower's not offside wonky or uneven or whatever. Alright, so let's get our little handy dandy bone folder here and make sure that is folded down really nicely. And then we're going to turn it over. We do have a little glue seepage here, but we're going to turn it over. Still have glue on my scissors from last time. And I'm not a very neat crafter, so I guess y'all have probably figured that out. But we're going to very carefully go down here cutting off the paper. Be very careful not to cut the book page, because that is your fold. And if you cut it, it's going to open up your fold here on the side, and we don't want that. We're going to turn it here and go right straight down. Following the same thing, we're going to follow the book page and down on this side. And then I'm just going to fold this up and cut this right here, and I'm going to fold my scissors in a little bit so that it's not going to interfere with the fold. Okay, there we go. So then when we fold this back up, it will fit there fine. And see, we can see our little keep calling it a dragonfly, our little dandelion right here. So very cute. Now we're going to put this little dandelion, if we can, on the front of this page. And it's going to be a little bigger, so hopefully that will work. And it's going to cover all the sides. So I'm just laying that down there. And I hold it up, y'all. This is just something I do because I have a window right here that's got beautiful sunshine out there. And I can see through this paper. This paper is pretty thin. And I can see and make sure that I get it lined up by looking through the paper into the window. So that's why I'm holding it up. I'm not really weird or anything. It's just that's going to work. So we're going to put some glue on here. Same thing that we did before. I am going to fold this because I don't want to get glue on the back of it. We're just going to put some glue on here. And then I'm going to hold it back up, hold my paper back up, and see right where to put my dandelion. Right there, so I can see it on the front of the paper. Then we'll get our bone folder here, and we will push it down again. Make sure we get that glue all smoothed out and smothered up. There we go. I guess we're going to smother it, but there we go. It would have been nice if I'd have done it straight, but then we would have all been surprised. We got it. Good enough. Wipe the glue off of the edge. It's not going to make any difference anyway, but it does help getting glue on my scissors. So There we go. So there we go. We're going to cut right down the side of this one, just like we did on the other one. All the way down. Save these little pieces. We're going to turn it over and cut right down the side this way. And then we'll trim up here. It very little, but there is just a little hangover right here that we want to get rid of. Okay, there we go. This is a simple little pocket to make. We'll put all of our pieces over there. We may need them. And there's our first dragonfly. I'm just going to call it a dragonfly. How does that work? And I think I'm going to just fold this over a little bit, just because it saves cutting that paper. It's not going to matter on the back because we're going to glue it down. Nobody's going to see this part. So rather than cut the paper and make another cut, I think I'm just going to fold it to the back. We'll put a little bit of glue on it. And that'll just help strengthen our pocket a little bit too for our tags to come in. It's not going to make any difference. If you want to cut it off, you cut it off. You can tear it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It is yours to do. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Made it a little bit thicker. Just a tad. Not a lot. So now there's our pocket. We've got our first dandelion. Oh, got it right. And our second little dandelion down here. So now we're going to ink again. Like I said, we really didn't have to ink that first time, but it kind of helps cover the edges of the paper. So I kind of like doing it. Maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment, or I just like inking. I'm not sure. But I'm going to ink all the way around here, and then we're going to close this little baby up and look at our tags. Okay. Now we're going to do the front of this one and this one. We don't have to worry about that piece because it's going to be on the back. But you know me. So we're going to put some down here on the bottom. There we go. And there's our pocket. Now then, put that away because we're done with that for a little while. Now then, we've got to fold up to make our extra pockets. We want to fold this side, or glue this side right here, and this little bitty bit right here. But we want to leave as much room as we can in here for our pockets, or for our tags to slide in. So we've got a little bit of room there that we can play with, because I made this one a little wider, see? Well, maybe I didn't, a little wider, maybe a teeny tiny bit, but sometimes a teeny tiny bit is all you need. So we're going to put just a little bead of glue, and we're going to put it on this side, because this side doesn't really indicate to us where to stop putting glue. And if we go all the way up there, all of this is glued and we don't need it glued. We just need this little part. So we're going to glue on the book page side, very little thin bead, turn it over and do the same thing on this side. All the way up to the top, just a thin little bead. Then we're going to fold it over and smush it down good. Make sure that it's good and stuck. Make sure it's even. You might want to put just a little bit of glue over that, just in case you have some little glue spots that kind of showed up that we didn't want. And we can burnish this down again and make sure that's smeared in and good. And there's our pocket. Just put a little piece of glue down there. And I have found that when you get glue on your paper, it doesn't want to accept the ink for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it's something in the glue. But anyway, there's our pocket. So And we have a pocket in between here, these two pages, provided I didn't glue it together. There we go. Make sure that's even. Have a pocket there, right behind it. We have a pocket in between these two pieces. You have to be quite coordinated to get it in there. But make sure you open these pockets up pretty quick after you put the glue on, because it will kind of sometimes seep out and stick them together. So then we have a pocket there, and then we're going to put a tuck spot here on the back. So in order to do that, I'm going to get my tape, my double-sided tape. This is just because I made this little pocket today. I may not use this pocket for a month or whatever. And I may not remember at that time how I intended for it to be. So when I make it and I intend for it to be glued down, then I make sure I put this tape on here. That's an indication to me. This is not enough tape to hold this glued in somewhere. This is just a little reminder to me, oh, we need to glue this down here and here. If I come across a pocket or whatever it is, usually pockets, that has no tape on the back of it, then I know that that was not intended to be glued down to the paper. It is a clip-in, or I'm going to use a paper clip, or I'm just going to slide it in, or whatever. So that is just a message and way I communicate with myself on how to do my pockets at a later time. Love the colors on this though. Very cool. Now on this one, I put some lace on here, and I used this lace on here, and it looked really pretty. But this piece has this beautiful kind of aqua teal color, and so I hand dyed a little piece of lace here and thought we could use that to put on here. It's been kind of wadded up because I just dyed it and wadded it and made a mess, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go very small and make a little row of glue all the way down this side right here, all the way to the point. And I'm going to start, I don't think there's a right one. There might be a right one. I don't think it matters. I'm going to put this right here. Make sure that it's even right there with our pocket. I'm going to cut that little nubbin off in a minute. You could put some pearls on here, or you could put some rhinestones or anything else that you wanted on here. I kind of like it to just, for this, to just be kind of nice and plain. And I'm going to cut this off down here at the bottom, and we'll cut this little angle off here so that it looks like it's supposed to be there. Now, the next thing that I had was somewhere on here, I had a couple of doilies. And I love doilies. Those of you that watch my channel know that I love doilies. And this one's a little purple one, and I thought that might look kind of cool on there, but it totally covers up my, of course, either of them are going to cover it up. Maybe I don't want to put a doily on there. Maybe I just want to make a bow. Let's see if I can make a bow with this little piece that's left over. I love bows, and I don't know why. You know, when I was a little girl, I had very, very, very short hair. My mom kept it in a little pixie cut. Those of you that are a little older know what a pixie cut is. And so I didn't have, excuse me, I feel like I have cotton in my throat. I didn't really have hair bows and things because, you know, I didn't have a whole lot of hair. And then I had two girls, and, oh, man, I used to have them in bows all the time. Neither one of them like bows now, probably because of that. But that's okay. That's okay. They don't have to like bows. And that's just almost not enough lace to tie a little bow. Well, goodness gracious. I think that this lace, after I dyed it, made it kind of thick. And it's not really going to make a pretty bow. But I think that could work okay. Maybe we could just put it down here. Let's try it again. Let's try making another bow. Maybe kind of wonky it up a little bit. And try a little bow. Wonky this one up a little bit. Maybe make another little arm on our bow. And see if that does a little better. Yeah, one time when my kids were younger, my girls, well, all of my kids were younger, but I have 2 girls and a boy, for those of you that don't know, and I had gone to a convention for a few days and left the kids home with my husband, and the bows and the ponytails just about did him in. And so he finally gave up, took my girls to school with a hairbrush and their bows, and asked one of the lady teachers at the school to please fix their hair for them. So after that, we kind of learned, we taught Dad how to do bows, and he got better. Not great, but not bad. So, but he was resourceful enough to find somebody who knew how to do something that he did not know how to do, and got them to help him. So, okay, there we go. That's about the best I can do with this little thing. I think that the lace on that one just laid so much prettier, but I think that will be fine. Maybe I could put it right there, and it would kind of give a hat to our little dandelion, and I like that. I like that idea. So we may just do that. There we go. Let's cut this other little leg off so it's not quite out of proportion. Put that in there. Put a little glue on it. And put it right there for a little hat for our dandelion. Now, isn't that cute? It's kind of off center a little bit. I mean, the arms are a little bigger than the legs, but that's okay. That'll be okay. That will be okay. Let's go ahead and work on these tags here. Now, we have 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and maybe that one. Yeah. And these front 2 are a little bit, the back 2 are the same size, because you will have some play around room with this one on the back, that you don't have to put it all the way to the bottom. You can kind of play around with it and put it where you want, because this side will be open. And then this one can fit down inside here. Yeah, come on. It can fit down inside here, and you can adjust those so that they can be how different heights that you want. These 2 down here, this one's going to fit in here, which is going to be lower than that one. And then this one fits in the little fold right here and can work in that one, so that they're all able to be seen. You can manipulate them around until you get them like you want them. And there you go. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we are going to let's round the edges. Let's put a little decorative thing here on the top part. We'll put it on the top of each one of our tags. And it just kind of gives it a little character, maybe, I guess. And then I'm going to get the rounded one because I like to put rounded corners on the bottom. They seem to fit in the tag better. I don't know why. I don't know if they even do, really. But I feel like they do. So if I feel like they do, they do. At least for me. And so we're going to put these on here. And I just kind of round them up a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to throw all of this stuff in the trash. There we go. And we're going to ink around the edges. Just very lightly. And like I said, I'm not going to put anything as far as decoration on them. At this point, I don't know. Of course, a lot of times I just use plain tags, and that's okay too. You don't have to have a decoration on the front of it. If you do, it is going to have to be some kind of very flat to fit in that pocket, or it's going to tear your pocket. So it's perfectly fine if you don't want to put any decoration on this. But if you wanted to put a sticker or a pretty piece of paper or a label or a tag or you know, something like that, a piece of ribbon, a piece of washi tape, anything like that, then you certainly can do that and it will fit just fine. But you don't want to put a button or a bow or anything like that on there because it's gonna pooch out. Your little pocket holes here need to kind of act like an envelope, and what goes in it could be able to be sealed. So just kind of keep that in mind when you get ready to decorate your tags that go in your pockets, that when they're going to go in to a journal especially, but anytime really, you want to be careful about putting stuff on the front of your tags. Now, if it's going to fit in a pocket that's down here and all of this is visible, that's a whole different kind of tag, and you can certainly get away with putting a little bit more decorative kinds of things on there. But these little tags are going to fit. Okay. I saw my doily laying there and thought, oh, I forgot to put my doily on there. But I changed my mind and decided not to use the doily, didn't I? So, because I can still see my dandelion. All right. These two, same size. So this one's going to go in here. This one's going to go in here. Now you could put a little tab pull on here. You could put a little piece of fabric on here if you want to. Just keep in mind, anytime you add more bulk, it's going to make your journal more of a gator mouth. And I tell you, I can already tell this bow's going to have to be redone because that is just really wonky looking. It's kind of funny. But we're going to put the smaller of the two tags. Let me tell you how these, what size these are. The biggest one is right at about 4 7/8 by 2 1/4, and you cut 2 of those. The next one that's going to go in here is 3 7/8 by 2 1/4. You're going to put it in here. And the smallest one that's going to go in the front, still 2 1/4 wide, but about 2 1/2 inches. And you don't really need it to be a whole lot of difference, just enough that your tag the tag behind it can be seen. There we go. So there we go. And there you've got them. Put that in there. Glue that down on your page. You're going to have it glued on the top and the bottom. And then this tag can slide in and out like this. And you can position it however you want to. You can have it hanging out. You can have it sliding in, straight up and down, however you want it. It's up to you. But there is our little book page pocket that will hold 4 tags. And like I said, if you wanted to make it just 2 tags, you can certainly have one here and one here, and just have 2 tags, not use the inside of this. If I were not going to put a tag in here, I would probably glue that just so that it would strengthen it a little bit, but you don't have to do that. But that gives you two tags. You don't have to use this one. You could just use these 3. Put him in there, and then put this one in here and glue the whole thing down. And glue the whole thing down. You could glue the whole thing or put another thing here and have a straight pocket. But the tuck gives you a little more control over where you're going to put, how you're going to put that tag in that pocket. So there we go. That one is finished. I hope you enjoyed following along. I hope you'll make one of these. These are really cool. Next Friday, I have a project that is very similar to this one, but yet different. The book page is going to be very, very close to the same, but the way we're going to do it's a little different. And I'm anxious to show y'all that one too. So, but it will be a variation of this pocket right here. So that being said, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I would love to add you to our group of Pink Dragonfly Wings creative group members. We don't really do anything, but it's kind of cool. And share the video with everyone you know. I'm trying really hard to grow my channel. Trying to do it on a budget, so I don't have a lot of advertising and stuff, so I'm depending on y'all to help me do that. So if you would share the video, that would be great and awesome. If you have a few minutes, check out my little online store. I have a few things in there you might be interested in. Just check it out and see. And until next time, you be creative too. Bye-bye.